What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I hope that you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, got to have some downtime with family and friends and enjoy good food and all of that great stuff. Our next big project that we're working on around here is not actually that big of a project. It was just something that I've wanted to do, and it's creating a chicken composting system. Now, that is not where we compost chickens, but where the chickens do the composting for us. So I had a plan for what I wanted to do originally, but now for the sake of ease and time and finances, we are going to do it a different way, at least just in the short term. But the more that I've read about letting your chickens do the composting for you, the more excited I've gotten, because I do want to have some good compost ready for my spring garden. And usually when you add chicken manure to something, it's supposed to be broken down for at least 6 months, just so that it doesn't burn your plants, but also because of the microbial activity in it. You don't want to put chicken manure hot onto foods that you're going to be growing to eat. So I was looking for a method that could speed up the pace a little bit, and ran into chicken composting, and I think it might be just the thing. I think it's going to be a good fit for us. So let's go ahead and get it set up and see what it's going to look like. Hey ladies. Hey ladies and gents. So we were originally going to start a compost back here, but because I'm not sure how long it'll be before we can put up a fence, an additional fence. You know, right now we've got them all in the run, safe. We do have a lot of predators out here. We find coyote droppings in our driveway, so we know that they're coming up close to the house and around where the chickens are. So we are going to put up a fence at some point, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be before we can do that. So in the meantime, we are going to create a little system inside of the run. Just kind of, it's going to look like a raised garden bed basically over there in the corner. And all of our kitchen scraps are going to start to go in there. And then it'll also give them something to do during the day. These chickens are used to having a lot more grass and a lot more place area to forage. I'm sure they can find bugs and stuff in here too. But I just don't like that they're in there without a whole lot of foraging ability. So this will also give them something to do. The box will be right here. Loki, stop. We'll toss all of our scraps into there, including leaves. We have tons and tons of leaves. And then, you know, grass clippings and that sort of thing once we have those. And they'll probably end up tossing some of it outside of the bin too, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to have a central location to throw everything. So that's the plan. And this is our barn cat, Mikey. He was a feral cat that we picked up from the shelter. We brought him from our old house. We've had him for, I guess, about 3 years now. But this structure is a 3-story cat house that Zach built for him. It's got this little viewing area up at the top. He's getting acclimated now to living out here, but we're going to put a cat door so he can come and go as he pleases. So the little box that we're making for the inside of the run for the compost bin is just 2 8-foot 2x4s stacked tall-wise on top of each other and then secured together. And then the short side of it is about 32 inches, I believe. And so he just built this frame real quick. It was something that I had been wanting to do for the last week or so, but I usually have a baby on my hip. So he whipped it up for me real quick and we got it moved into the run. And it's pretty heavy since it's made of 2x4s. I don't think the chickens could move it very far, if at all, but he went ahead and screwed it to the sides of the run just in case, just to keep it a little bit more sturdy. So I went out to the back of the chicken coop where we had started the compost pile previously. All those leaves were already there and they were broken down quite a bit, but we had some pumpkins and other things that had been tossed out there over the last month or so that we've lived here. And this is underneath all these leaves. It's really broken down already. So there's like rich leaf compost in there. So that's a good start. I'm going to go and throw some of that into the box.
Watch out.
And I'm using a box because our buckets were all in use and our wheelbarrow doesn't fit in through the door of the run. And when I went out to go get another box of leaves, they were already scratching at it and digging around, taking stuff out, enjoying themselves. So I think the fact that we really have a lot of good leaf compost, I mean, you can see how rich that is when I was digging down there to bring these leaves out here. I think that's going to help jumpstart it too. So I'm just going to fill this up with more leaves, and all of our food scraps will come out here, except for citrus and avocado. Other than those two things, I'm going to toss everything out here, and they will turn it up. They'll scratch at it. They'll eat the things that they want to eat. Chickens are actually pretty intelligent, in one sense at least. I don't know about in all senses, but in the sense that they're usually pretty good about not eating what they're not supposed to eat. If it's something they can't have, in most cases, they're going to avoid it. So we'll just put everything out here. So I think if we keep this going over the next couple of months, it should be really nice and ready by the time that I am amending our soil and getting our beds ready for the spring. So with our previous composting system, we had one of those tumblers, and to be totally honest, I had a really hard time keeping up with it. That might sound silly that it was hard to keep up with, but it was just another thing on the list of things that were hard to accomplish some days. So I love this. Gives them something to do. As you can tell, they love it already. Good job. Make me some nice compost, okay? And then of course they'll add their manure to it as well. And I think this will be a good test run just to see how broken down it all is after a couple of weeks. So I'll come back, report back in a couple weeks, and see what it looks like. Yep, chicken composting, genius.